Blade Runner is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. I recently watched it a couple days ago and I gotta say it was amazing. My best friend Joe recommended it to me and he said that it was one of his top movies of all time. Actually, he did say it was his favorite movie of all time. And but the downside is that he said I had to watch the first one first. And then I already knew that the first one was very long. And I gotta say, the first one was very slow. It was very tedious. But the cinematography was amazing in the first one as well. It wasn't quite my movie, I guess. I generally enjoyed it. But it was a little boring at parts, I'm not gonna lie. But we're talking about the sequel to that, 2049. What an amazing movie, bro. This movie is just a eyegasm the whole time. Just every shot in this movie is absolutely beautiful, intriguing, amazing. The symmetrical shots of the Vegas. What? I've never felt so immersed in a world like Blade Runner, the first one and the second one. There's a lot of movies out there that have non-current world conditions. Either it takes place in space or another, just a whole nother dimension. And there's also movies out there that take place in the future, but none of it feels real like Blade Runner does. The first Blade Runner, I feel very squeezed in, very claustrophobic. I feel very uncomfortable and not at ease. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I do like downtown of cities, and I don't mind crowds of people. I find it annoying sometimes, but I don't mind it. But the first Blade Runner definitely kind of pissed me off because I was immersed so much in this world and I just didn't feel right. I felt dirty and I felt just But the second Blade Runner doesn't make me feel very claustrophobic. As a matter of fact, there's a lot more space. There's a lot more space involved. Like, obviously there is moments where, you know, he's going through the city and it does feel cluttered, but it just feels freeing and it feels like I'm just slowly floating, and it's amazing. So after I watched the movie, obviously, I thought about it a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a 2-hour, 40-minute movie. It was very long. Ladies and gentlemen, we are changing hats mid-record session. Alright, I had to put on a black hat because I'm not sure if that white is going to show up in the green screen or not. I'm sorry if it did. So after I watched the movie, I went a little digging on YouTube. I don't know who quoted this. I don't know who made up this quote or if it's just the definition, but I actually did look up the definition of cyberpunk and it was worded a little bit differently. But someone said cyberpunk is pretty much more tech and less life. And it took me a while to process that. I was like, more tech, less life. And then I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Think about it. The technology is used more than natural resources. For example, the wooden horse. See, the wooden horse is very important, not just because of the code or the 61021, I think is what it said, on the back of it. And it's not just important just because of the memory. It's very important in another scene. When he goes to the city and goes to the African American guy's shop, he brings the horse with him. He gives it to the guy inspects it. He's like, oh, real wood. It's worth a lot. So when I was first watching it, I was like, okay, maybe it's special wood. Like, that quote kind of just went over my head. So then when I thought of the cyberpunk definition, the more tech, less life, if you think about it, natural resources aren't a normal thing in this time period right now. It's more tech and less life. So that makes wood valuable. That makes natural things valuable because tech has taken over everything. Just look at Kay's girlfriend. She's not even real. She's not even physical. You can't even touch her. She's also very hot. So that makes you even more immersed in this world when wood is a valuable thing. See, nowadays wood is just wood, you know, we just what? Alright, in this part of the video, I need your guys' help in the comments because I've tried to figure this out in my head, but I still can't figure it out, okay? So, why is Kay such a compelling character? I've never really figured it out. Like, Kay is very quiet and he's kind of bland. He doesn't do anything very, like, oh my gosh, this dude's like a beast. Like, he doesn't blow you away, but you feel for the guy, like you sympathize for him. And I think everyone's basic answer would be, oh, it's because he was so convinced that he was Rachel's son and that he's like this, like, rare being because synths can't have children, and so he's like a big deal. Is it because he's kind of a nobody, and with the clues that he's figuring out, and he's starting to feel like he is somebody, and it kind of boosts his ego? Because throughout the whole movie, he's kind of depressed. I mean, like, look at the apartment scene. Like, he goes in there, he's talking to a hologram girlfriend. You know, he's having fake food. I mean, he's having real food, but he's having his girlfriend the hologram food to make it seem like it's an illusion that he's eating good food. Same as the love scene. He has to get a real girl to sync with the hologram. And so you kind of feel bad for this guy. And is the reason why we feel so bad for him because we kind of relate in a way that we're all kind of nobodies? Is that why we care for him? Because he's starting to, like, all the evidence lines up that this dude is Rachel's son. And then obviously later on in the movie you figure out that he is, and it's just a bummer, bro. And you're just like, oh my gosh. So do you think that's the reason why? Help me out in the comments. Let me know why you think Kay is such a compelling character. Maybe some people don't even like Kay to begin with, but I really want it. But yeah, anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, drop a comment on why you think Kay is such a good character and a compelling character. And that was my take on it. It's because we kind of relate to him, that he's a nobody, and then you start thinking that he's a somebody, and then he starts thinking that he's important, and then you're like, oh my gosh, yay, Kay has something, and then he ends up with nothing. Gosh dang it, Kay. Anyway guys, Blade Runner 2049 is easily on my top 3 movies. I will not be telling you guys the other 2 because I gotta save that for clickbait. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you like these type of video formats and you like talking about movies and you like movies, subscribe. I would appreciate that, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.